this is Living Dead Gal, and welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Welcome to my channel if you are new. Today we're doing something a little bit different than my usual videos. I'm hoping to do this a little bit more on my channel. It's not like my strongest suit though, so we'll see. But today we are decorating an apartment, or I guess renovating an apartment. For one of my Sims in my Let's Plays, the Make It or Break It Let's Play series that I have, which is based on the Sims 4 finding love after a breakup scenario. So one of the characters in that series is finally moving out on her own and kind of separating from the toxic relationship, and so I wanted to really decorate this apartment to match her personality and be a cute space for her to live. If you have been watching my Let's Play, you'll know that I accidentally got her an apartment that needs TLC and also has the outline of a dead body. So I was all excited, like, yeah, she's finally getting her an apartment, and then I of course ended up picking one of the not so great apartments in the world. It was kind of just a matter of cost. I mean, I went through the apartments for like 20 minutes and I was struggling to find the right one, and I really didn't realize that that's what I had picked. But I decided we're gonna run with it because it's realistic, and I like to do that in my game. But it's realistic given her budget situation. So yeah, I thought that I would try to make it as cute as possible. There's certain things that I couldn't alter. I do have the tool mod, but I'm not like super comfortable with that yet, so I didn't change anything like structurally about the apartment except for knocking a few walls down. So unfortunately in her bedroom we've still got like these pipes and the whatever the little like breaker box is, but I mean, I kind of like that because it is realistic. The only thing I like don't love is the position of the front door. You'll see later, I really wish that I could have like had it centered in the space that it's in. And I also am not a fan of like this window in her bedroom. You'll see that I really struggle to find curtains that I think work with it. And I'm the kind of person where my style is really like a lot about decorating and adding lots of clutter, and this particular like apartment design is actually a lot less cluttered than what I normally would do, just because I was trying to be a little bit conscious of the budget that we had. But even then, like, I still do have clutter in here because I really like to have my Sims areas look lived in. I know sometimes clutter can, you know, it can seem like stuff's in the way of gameplay, and sometimes like when you clutter up a kitchen then you end up running into a situation where your Sims are yelling at you saying they can't cook. So I try to be conscious of things that are gonna like affect gameplay, but I really like to have spaces that I feel like reflect my Sims personalities. So for this space, London is a character that when I first created her, I really didn't expect to fall in love with her as much as I did throughout the series. And she's someone who I think has a lot of depth to her personality that I didn't realize was even going to be the case when I first started playing. And so she is a self-absorbed Sim, so she's very kind of into herself and like her beauty and receiving compliments and things like that. So I definitely wanted to have things in her apartment that felt, you know, like she pays attention to that kind of stuff. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I had this set up with the clothing rack and like, you know, have some of her like shoes and things scattered throughout the apartment, and even like some beauty products, just because I feel like that really makes sense for London, and she's usually like pretty heavily made up, so it kind of fit her personality. But I also wanted to give her like an apartment that felt like an upgrade from where she was, because she's been working really hard and I wanted her to have a place that was like a safe haven for her. So I wanted something that was like modern but had really neutral, peaceful colors. So I ended up going with like her favorite color is pink, so I knew I wanted to utilize that, but I didn't want it to be too in your face pink. So I used a lot of grays and blacks and white and kind of paired those with like some accent pinks throughout, and I feel like it worked. And I also wanted to add in a few things that gave her a little bit of an edge. So for this wall, instead of like a fancy piece of artwork, I ended up going with this Nirvana poster, and it just, that's kind of how she is. Like, she's got an edge to her. She's a girly girl with an edge. And I really wanted that to be captured in just the design of particularly her bedroom. And we've passed it now at this point in the video, but I ended up using the curtain set from the Bloom and Rooms kit because I swear I went through every single curtain that I had in my game, and that includes all of my CC. I have tons of CC, and I could not find something that I thought looked right. That was the only thing that looked right, and I decided, you know what? It's an apartment, it's by the window, looking outside. She's gonna need some greenery because she's now moving into the city. This plant will keep her happy. So I decided to go with that. And I thought it looked really cute and it kind of fit the sort of trendy vibe. A lot of the stuff I picked out kind of looks to me like the stuff you'd buy at Target to like impersonate the Urban Outfitters brand. So I ended up kind of going with that, even though London's not really like the type of girl who would like shop at Urban Outfitters. I still think that like for her decorating style in her apartment, this vibe kind of worked for her. And I knew I wanted to give her like a really pretty, really clean black and white bathroom. I was so mad that these little drains that they have in the bathroom, that you can't like cover it with a rug or anything no matter what you do. So I just had to kind of live with that. But I ended up finding like some really nice CC items that I thought helped kind of like class the little bathroom up. You know, I kind of went back and forth between just getting her a shower and just getting her a tub, but I thought she deserves like a tub shower combo so she can take baths and live a life of luxury here. Like, she needs to come here and de-stress and kind of move on with her life, because if you've seen the series, she's been through a lot lately, and so I really wanted this apartment to be a beautiful safe haven for her, even though, you know, with Sims, for all I know, she could hate how I've decorated it, but just in my head, you know, I wanted it to feel like that. I wanted it to be stuff that I would think she would pick out. So I had a lot of fun doing this. I was a little bit nervous though, because I'm not much of a builder. This is more decorating, which is more of my comfort level, but still, I'm not like as good with all of the different techniques and stuff, and I have so much CC, so it really took me a while to kind of go through everything and pick out what I wanted. And this was also a case where it wasn't like I had a plan for what I was gonna do going into it. It was more like, I have the space, how am I gonna make the space work for my character? So it was a lot of me kind of looking at the pieces that I have in my collection and seeing what worked, on top of just making sure she has the basic things she needs for everyday life. I also was getting a little bit frustrated with the lighting in here. I don't know if it was just because of my reshade, but it was just really, really bright, so I ended up going with like some dimmer lights. I'd like to maybe eventually upgrade those once she has more money, but for now I ended up just going with like a simple light that's kind of like the base game saucer light, but this one's a CC light that puts off like a little more of a yellow tint, which I know a lot of people don't like yellow, but with the like floorboards that I chose and with the like neutral colors, it was just looking so washed out when it had that stark white light, so I ended up going with something a little more toned down. I also knew like instantly, I think this apartment is meant to be like a 2-bedroom, but since it's just her, I knew that I wanted to or actually maybe it's, yeah, it is meant to be a 2-bedroom, I believe, and the bedrooms are technically what I've turned into the kitchen and the living room, and then I think what her bedroom is what would have technically been the kitchen, but I just thought it worked a little bit better for her since it's just her in this apartment, and I definitely wanted a more open concept living and dining area for her, just because, you know, open concept, I love it in homes, but I think in homes it really works either way, whether you want to have open concept kitchen and living or if you want to have them separate rooms. But when you're in an apartment, it really does help the apartment space feel so much bigger, just if you've ever lived in an apartment. So I definitely wanted that for her, but I wanted a little bit of separation, so I ended up rising up the kitchen a little bit so that it was on a platform, which I really, really love that they added that to the game, because I've always thought that was so nice, especially when you want to do an open concept, but you're struggling to find furniture and rugs that really help the two areas feel divided in that open space. So I really like the idea of kind of just raising her kitchen up a little bit, especially since the big window is over there. Her kitchen I ended up going pretty simple with. I didn't go too crazy in here. And I probably could have fit like more stuff in this space, but I wanted it to be a little bit like open and like have some breathing room, because again, it's like her safe haven now. She's been in a toxic relationship. She's been in a situation where her ex has brought his new girlfriend over, and you know, she slept in their bed, and so it's just been a wild ride for London. So I wanted to make sure that I gave her a nice place to live, especially because we are coming up on the final episode of that series. If you've been following it, don't worry, I have plans to bring London back. As I was working on this apartment, I was also keeping a few other things in mind, which I won't reveal here, but I do have a plan to bring London back for another Let's Play, another series that I would like to start on my channel. It's just that I did want to end the Make It or Break It Let's Play because that was involving the scenario, and so I did want that to be a shorter series, but I've really enjoyed playing with London, and I think she's a great candidate for what I have planned next. So I won't reveal that quite yet, but stay tuned for more on that. Right now in the video you can see we're just working on her desk area, which is super important for me to have a nice desk space for her because she is a freelancer, she's a programmer. I don't have the nicest computer for her right now, just for budget restrictions, but I thought that would be okay. Like, she has a laptop that she works off of, and then eventually I'd like to upgrade it for her. Maybe one day she would even get like a the video editing space, because I feel like she's really into programming and video gaming, so one day she might end up upgrading to that and start like playing games online or streaming. But for now, this was kind of the setup that I wanted for her. Again, really kind of like basic modern look to her apartment. It's nothing like super jazzy. Normally I'll do things like a little more colorful than this. Like in real life, I'll just tell you guys I have a red couch. Like, I have a lot of red in my house. I like a lot of bold things, but for this I wanted something a little more muted and toned down. So I thought that it suited her and her personality. And one of the things that I'll do is, as I play more with her in this space, I'll add more clutter and more things to the apartment that I think make it feel like hers. So one thing that I started to build over here is a photo wall. I have these really cool frames by Renovation where you can pop in the photos that your sim takes into these, and they work just like the regular in-game frames, but they're just a little bit nicer. So I wanted to build like a little photo wall for her. I know it's empty right now, but once I get in the game with her, I want to start adding pictures to that photo wall. And I thought that would be super cute because, I don't know, it feels nice when your Sim's face like has photos of them and their friends and their family and things like that. So we're getting close to the end of the video. I'm just kind of wrapping up the kitchen here, and then we go into some screenshots of the space. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who supports me. I know this is a little bit different. I'm not, you know, much of a builder in the game, even though this is just decoration, so this is like my first video doing something like this, so I hope you like it. I hope it's not too boring for anybody, but I really did enjoy how this turned out, and I'm excited to get in there and play with London. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this or more of my other content, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know, and you can also subscribe to my channel to check out the full Make It or Break It Let's Play series, any of my other Let's Plays that I have right now. I'm doing the Whimsy Stories Legacy Challenge, and I do a lot of cast videos and a lot of CC review videos, so feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you here. With that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!
What if I is the way that you left me. Side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you left me. Oh.